report on the. Okay, so I'm gonna just hide my screen there. There we go. So hopefully you're on the right course today. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn 101, how to master profile basics. And then I probably will also touch, since it's just you and I, Stephanie, and we'll have a little maybe more time, how to start and launch a company page if that's something you eventually want to do. But this is really about, and I'm a big believer for individuals who also have a company or a business, that you start with really building out your LinkedIn personal profile first, and then start your page, especially for us that are creative or independent. Like I'm a sole proprietor of consultant. I have my own business, so I don't have a huge company where I have 25, employees. So we're going to, and so I'll have the PowerPoint, but I'm going to navigate live my LinkedIn profile and show you where all the bells and whistles are. Do you have a LinkedIn now?
No.
Okay, well, you're going to love this course then. It'll probably confuse the heck out of you until you go in and start your own, but that's okay.
I'm a total newbie.
Okay, newbie. Well, some days I'm like a newbie too, so it could be one of those days. This is me. I am the president of my own consulting firm, L.L.Consulting. I've had it for close to 20 years, but I've been in the field providing advising in economic development and downtown revitalization for close to 28 years. For the last 25 years, I've been providing services for the various small business development centers, which are part of the SBA. They provide direct business advising to businesses, individuals that are either thinking of starting a business, are in business, want to get out of business. And I actually consult or advise for Shasta Cascade Small Business Development Center. And that's where I met the director of the Shasta College Community Education courses. I've known her for a number of years, and she reached out and said, hey, what do you think about doing something for the lifelong learning program we have? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. Let's do some digital marketing, because it's a topic that everybody has been using a lot of, because we are all working virtually. Oh, hi, Michael. Michael's joining us, so that's good. He knows about me, so I won't have to go over this again. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Hi. I just
Hi.
got back from work. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We just started. I got the recording going. I'm just going into my, few minutes of fame here about myself.
So, Lonnie?
Yes.
Is this a LinkedIn page, or is this just a PowerPoint for this
This is just
class?
a PowerPoint for the class.
Okay.
You'll see
Okay.
me switch over. And that's not my profile for LinkedIn. I have a little more professional one. This is my COVID pandemic profile with Charlie, because Charlie has been with me the entire time for the last almost year and a half here at the house. And sometimes he likes to chime in. He has things to say about what I'm saying. So I like to show him off. I adopted him right in August 2020. And he's just been a delight and really fun. And so anyways, okay. So today's agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about the benefits of LinkedIn, optimizing your LinkedIn profile, and how you grow your network. And then we'll hopefully, as Michael knows, sometimes I talk too long. We don't have a lot of times for questions, but with such a small group, if you have a question when I'm plugging along, just unmic and ask it, or we'll go from there. So the benefits of LinkedIn are many. Most people think LinkedIn is only if you're looking for a job or needing an employee. And it is one of those networks that has a very, very robust job board, or the matching job seekers with businesses that are looking for individuals. However, it's much, much more than that. It is one of the largest business-oriented networking website. Call it a website platform. It really is about your professional persona or image, whether you are in business, working for someone, even retired, working and volunteering maybe just for an organization. It really is about kind of bringing your professional background and your interest forward. Plus, what I have found it to be extremely beneficial for is that a bullet down there that says assist with maintaining your contacts. Because over the years, we've really developed a wealth and depth of people we know throughout our life, whether they are our family and friends. That's the low-hanging fruit. And we often use Facebook for meeting and talking with them and sharing things about our family. But in your business and professional world, those are sometimes colleagues, maybe they were mentors, maybe they were past supervisors, maybe they were employees of yours or your downline staff that you managed. And we develop relationships with them over the years because we've spent a lot of time working. And it's nice to be able to connect with them again, see what they're doing, reach out to them if they're involved in an industry or sector that helps you with your growing your business or your interest, or you're looking for volunteer opportunities, or you just want to announce that you're starting something new. So it really is about business to business, professional networking. There's over 500 million members in 200 countries, so it is international. And it really does help you, gives you lots of different features to build your professional brand, what your experience is, what your interest is, what your skills are, and how to basically contact you. I was looking I got a call from a past colleague who I hadn't talked to for like 3 years, and they wanted to know if I was interested in teaming with them on a job. And I said, great. And so they wanted, my resume, they wanted to know more about me. And so, I forwarded them to my website, but then I also said, check out my LinkedIn. That's where I have a lot of my information about my skill set there too. So we don't know who goes to it, right? It's just like Facebook or Instagram or any of the social media platforms, who's kind of, researching and looking up folks that they may know, and then wanting to know where they are. And it's the same with LinkedIn. There may be people out there trying to connect with you, but they don't know how to get a hold of you. And it has a gateway, just like Facebook profile does, that you have to connect with them. Someone sends you an invitation to connect, you accept or not accept. So it isn't like a Facebook page where they just like your page and like your company or your brand or your creative page. With LinkedIn, on your personal profile, you have to let them in too. So there is it is kind of a gateway. It's not just like somebody can look you up and like you and now they're following you. It's great for networking, outreach, and communication. And then there are hundreds of interest groups that are on LinkedIn, that groups, just like in Facebook groups of forums of like interest. Like I think there's one for the college that I graduated from. There's, what I have one that's for one of the national associations I belong to. And we have groups on LinkedIn that you can go and look and be more targeted in what you're trying to discuss with, past colleagues or people in your field. So I just took a screenshot. This is Shasta College's Facebook company page. Of course, they don't have a personal profile because they are a company. Now, this shows the alumni. So there's a lot of alumni here. And alumni, they're probably on this page because it's specifically for educational universities and educational institutions. They have different features than the company page does for like My Little Small Business. So in that you can have alumni. So there's, alumni there. And if you're an alumni and you go to that page and you start to follow it, then you can put your profile in the alumni. So that's kind of an interesting feature for college pages or schools, institutional, universities, higher education. I think probably, yeah, community college. I don't know if high schools have the alumni. I don't think so. Haven't looked that up. I don't really, it's been a long time since I've been in high school, but I'm going to tell you, they had a class reunion in between the 5 years, and I have not missed one class reunion since 1973. And they had one this year, and they didn't invite me. I'm like, I emailed, I said, guys, why didn't you invite me? They're not on, we don't have a group on LinkedIn, and I don't know what they use to get the word out, but obviously I wasn't connected. So I felt a little bit bummed that I missed it and I wasn't invited, but I didn't take it too personal. So I'm going to first of all walk through how to optimize your personal profile. This is the picture, this is a screenshot of it. And these are the areas that we're going to talk about. We're going to, go through each of these, and I usually go in order. And then also Stephanie and Michael knows this too, that I'll send you the link to the video that I put up on YouTube, and I put it in a private playlist so only you can see it. It won't be public, but you can share the link with anybody you want to. And I will be sending you this PowerPoint with my notes. There's notes that come below this, and you'll get the notes so you can kind of review some of the notes with it as we go through the live demonstration. All right, any questions to this point? Let me get out of here. Come on. Okay. Oh, dip. There we go. Sometimes my poor little laptop just is overworked and underpaid like me. Overworked, and man, I love my little laptop. It's been a good investment. Okay, so here we are. We are on LinkedIn. When you start your own LinkedIn profile, you will be seeing it like this. This is not how people see it when it's out forward facing, right? Just like the other platforms has a different look. They don't get to see all these reminders and add-on sales and things across the top. People do not see all of that. What you see here is your personal profile. And I know that because way up here under me and right here in my news feed, there's a picture of me. My company has my logo. So this is my personal profile. Right down the center is what we call the news feed, just like what we see on Facebook or not YouTube so much, they don't have it, but so Facebook, because that's probably the one that's most familiar to people. This is where people post, right? This is where people that I'm following or have shared a post, have posted directly, have commented. And when you look through this, it's going to be, depending on who you've connected with, it's going to be related to whether they were in your industry or whether they're with you as part of an organization that you belong to, a nonprofit, or how you know them, right? Their interest. So when you have a new post, it pops up new post. It's pretty bold, right? You can't miss it. So if you don't go check your LinkedIn very often, as you can see up here, I have 37 notifications. I don't come on this every day. I come on probably once a week and check it. So if I click on new post, it's going to give me the newest post that came through my feed. So we're basically seeing what other people have posted. So that's what I'm looking at here. So, you can just go through this, like right here, Shasta Cascade Small Business Development Center. That's who I follow. That's who I work with. They have posted that the startup games are going to be happening. This is an initiative that they are partnering with, and they've posted on their LinkedIn company page, and it's coming through my feed. And because I know I know them, I work for them, I may want to comment or share or like the page. And so I'm going to go ahead and give them a clap, celebrate. And I'm going to write excited to see the launch, doesn't matter what I post. But anyways, so this is your feed. And as you get your more connections and you get more folks in your network and they post, you're going to see more of those things. Like for this example, I don't know him, but I know this person. And when I hover over that name, what pops up there, as you can see on the left, is a really brief description of who that person is. He's in my first connection, which means he's in my first layer, my first tier of connectors, means I know him. I connected with him directly. Gives me where he's working, kind of a description, and then who else he's connected with that I know. The same will happen when you hover over my icon. I'm not going to be able to see that because this is not I'm not looking at it as a consumer. I'm looking at it as someone, behind the scenes. So I can't see what that's going to look like, but I'll show you in a minute. So that's what this is your feed. So I just kind of wanted to start there. Up along the top, this is what's called our menu, okay? So we've got LinkedIn, we got the search bar. I will come back to that because I don't want to go there yet. Here's my home. That brings me right back to here, okay? Home. Whenever you are at home, you're at the place where your feed is coming through and you get, you're looking at it and you're looking at what everybody's posting, as well as the place where you could create a post. My network, those who I'm connected to, and I'll come back to that. Jobs, if you're looking for a job or posting a job. Messages are messages that came through. They messaged me. This is probably a paid message. If I want to look at all my messaging, it's right here on the side. I'm going to go back to home. I had it minimized. You can always minimize your messaging. Messaging is like a private to private way, just like Facebook's direct messaging. When you hear people say, oh, DM me, direct message me, well, LinkedIn has that ability too. So I minimized it. You can always see it right here. If I click on this one, you're going to see it over on the left-hand side, and they're going to give you the current message right there. So this is a LinkedIn offer. I don't really want that, so I'd probably delete it. I like to look at it over on this side. So, so you can delete it. Let's see, figure out how to delete that thing. I think I just delete it. This is a sponsored ad. See where it says sponsored? So I'm going to delete that. So when it pops up, I can delete it right there. This is a private message that this person, I messaged her, and then it shows me the entire message thread. So this is again a way to communicate privately, one-on-one with the folks that are you are linked with or connected with. And it's a place where companies and firms can also pay to have a message drop in. And many of them will pay to drop into the messaging because it's something that's one-on-one. It's much more private. It doesn't get lost in this news feed. So that's what the messaging is. So for example, if you wanted to message me and say, hey, Lonnie, I had a question about, once I connect with you, you got to send me an invitation to connect, and then I'll connect with you if you want. And then we could talk message to message. It doesn't just, if you're not connected with them, you can't message folks. It's again, a connection to connection. Notifications with the bell, if you link on that, it's just going to have, you're going to have this whole long list of people that have that you're connected with that has happened, something has happened. They've had a birthday, they've been an anniversary with a company. Also, again, this is an LinkedIn ad. Of course, right here, this is Shasta Cascade. That's because I follow them. It's just telling me that they posted something. I know this gentleman, it's his birthday. So anything that's in blue is new. I haven't looked at it in a week. So that might be the first area that you want to go through and look and kind of clean all that up and go, oh gosh, I didn't know that it was, that this person reshared a post, and I want to go read about it because he's one of my colleagues. I like what they're doing. So that's your notifications. And you'll always, once you click on it and open up everything, then you will, the little red dot will disappear. Finally, we're over here to the me button. Okay, so this is all about me. And this will be all about you. Okay, so right here is my little elevator speech. When people hover over it, they're going to see that description. You can have limited characters. We'll go in a minute and I'll show you where to put that. Then here is my account. We have settings and privacy. If you get stuck, we have a help. If you want it in a different language, you can put it in a different language. And then my company page is right here, and job posting account, which I don't use. Okay, so this is just about my account, and this is how I manage some of my account. So let's go to view profile. This is what people really see, right? When they click on your profile, this is how it's going to look. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you've got a pretty much professional picture. This one needs to be updated a little bit. My hair is no longer brownish blonde, it's more gray. Of course, I've been using my Charlie pandemic profile picture for most of my webinars, but this is where your professional profile, and you'll see different folks. Some of them have professional ones done, some are more, especially for those who work in a lot bigger companies and they pay for that service. So just take a picture of whatever and how you want it. It's very small. It's usually people's face, and that's your profile picture. This up here behind me is called a banner. A banner is just kind of a backdrop, and you can change your backdrop. I would only recommend changing your profile picture when you're updating a new profile picture. This isn't something you're going to change every day. Now, you may want to change it if you're so inclined, and you're maybe want to change it and have something for the spring on and something for the winter on. I don't know. Most people do not change their profile picture. But the banner behind you should be something that kind of, if interest to you, represents something, whether you want it to be where you live, or a beautiful landscape, or something about what you do. And so it's kind of a skinny one. It's a little bit more difficult just to find something to make it fit in there. I created my banner using the Canva, CANVA.com. It's a free design platform. They have, it's free and paid, but they have a lot of free templates. And this was one, and I just put some text in there. So that looks like that's my office. As you saw, my office doesn't really look like that, but this is what I kind of decided I wanted for my profile. I had a picture of Phoenix in there for a while. Then I thought, oh, then I'll put in the trees of Nevada County, where Grass Valley, where my other office is. But then I decided I wanted a little bit more professional looking banner for my professional profile. If you want, go ahead.
Was that canva.com or canvabanner.com?
Canva.com.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you can make various banners, actually do social media backdrops. There's lots of different things you can do with Canva. So as you can see, it's kind of a skinny one. It has specific, sizes. And it took me a bit to get this one just right, to get the name, get my computer in there, because it's much bigger. And so this is something fun to play with. You can change it right here. If you want to change it, you can upload a photo. They have some custom images in case that you don't have time to look one up. So you could choose that one. Let's see, let me choose this one and show you. So this one says my home office, work and balance. Okay, so they're really pushing because it's a Hispanic, National Hispanic Month, celebrate Latino voices. So sometimes you could look through here, and if there is a certain cause or a certain something you want to kind of, highlight, you can do that. Or these are generic, juggling work and family, work-life balance, or like what I did, I created my own. So if I take that one, I'm going to save it. It's going to change, and you'll see what happens. So see, now my banner's different, kind of busy, isn't it? Now I'm going to have to go back on Canva and find my, the thing about Canva is they store your designs. And then if you want them, you download them as a ping and then upload them onto where you want them to be. So, okay. So let's look at this again. So change it. Then, so you can do a custom or you can upload a photo. So those are your two options. If you see something on somebody's profile and it's just all blue with stars, they have not uploaded their banner. They have the LinkedIn has this generic looking one, and people often don't realize that you can change that. So that's a little tip for you. Okay, so then the next thing we have is our little elevator speech, or our headline. And I used to have one that was kind of boring. It said, I am a downtown consultant. Da, da, da. Then I decided, I saw one that people had used some asterisks, and then also some people have used little emojis in there. It's kind of a bullet thing. So it doesn't matter what you put in there. You just want to kind of remember that when you are, I'm going to go back to my home, when you're like on a person, not a company page. Company pages will show that. I want to show you a person here. Okay, so Joan, I know Joan. So when I hover over that, her little elevator speech is really simple. Associated NAI Horizon, not too much going on there. This guy is not got too much on there either. So whatever you put in there, that's what's going to pop up there when people hover over your profile picture. So I'm going to go back to me. I might have too many words there, but I used every single character. So I have a lot. I have a lot to say. I do a lot. I have a lot. And then because I have a company page, it has my my icon right there. So it pulled it from the company side. So let's look at how we edit this, okay? So this is the basic, and this is what you're going to probably start to fill out when you start your own LinkedIn profile. First name, last name, it is required. You have to have a first name and a last name. And then you can also put in here if you have name pronunciation can only be added using your mobile app. Okay, so for sometimes people like Lonnie, a lot of times is mispronounced. So if I'm using the mobile app, a lot of people use the mobile app for LinkedIn. I use desktop. I don't use mobile. If you're going to use mobile, you're going to learn, it navigates a little different, just like Facebook. So I'm showing you the desktop version. Then you can select pronouns if you're using pronouns. I don't use pronouns. And then my headliner, right? That's that little thing. That's what it's called. And I believe my headliner, I used to have how many characters? I think it's only like 150 characters, pretty short. Then your current position. And so I have several that I have here that I have as what I'm involved in currently. But I want to have my consulting, that I'm the president of my own company, L.L.Consulting, right there. So let's say you're retired, or this is where you, both of you, both Michael and Stephanie, both of you, you would want to put in your experience, in your most current experience, what you're doing now. And then this is what you would probably want to, to highlight your current position. I'll show you where it picks that up at. Show current company in my intro, okay? If I didn't want that to show, then you could just unclick it, and then it's not going to show in your profile. Education, I learned education. Whichever one you pick here is going to show up. This is what they're talking about. Did I want my current position to show? And did I want my education to show? You can only pick one of each of those to be highlighted on your profile that people see. So when I go back to me and view my profile, oh, I'm already there, sorry. When I'm going to be using the pencil, that's what I'm talking about right here, current position. If I wanted to say, okay, I'm a business advisor there, let's see what happens. And then I put Sierra College in there because I got an associate before I went and got my BS. Show my education. And then United States, what region, my postal code, and you don't have to put these in if you don't want to. Wherever there's a little asterisk means it's mandatory. You don't need to say your location is in Phoenix, Arizona. I chose. Now, you can change any of these as often as you want, but you only get to choose one. And these are your industry that you're involved in. And it was hard for me because I'm involved in nonprofit organization, management consulting. Yeah, I do marketing and advertising. So for the most part, I'm doing management consulting. And then here is another layer, contact information. So if you want to link onto that, and here you can add the URL. If you have a website, you want to put your URL in there. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. Or you can use it to put in your Facebook URL, which I added. If you have 2 websites, if you want to put one in that I don't know, or a URL to your YouTube channel or whatever else you may have, this is where you add them. Your phone number, only if you want to. Your address, only if you want to. None of these are required. This is a deeper in contact information about you. Now, if you're going on LinkedIn and you're wanting to connect with past colleagues and you're wanting to build a relationship and you want to kind of get people to know you, you're probably going to want to think about a few of these areas, especially your email. If not, don't worry about it. You don't need to fill those out. So let's see how this, let me go ahead and I'm just refreshing see how these two things changed right there? Now it says my current business is Shasta Cascade Small Business Development Center, and Sierra College is my education. I want to go back and change that because if I don't, I'll forget.
Lonnie,
Yes.
on this profile page, like you had your address there. Is that public to anyone who can look at your profile, or only to the people that you
Connect
have
with?
invited? Yeah.
Let me look. I think it's available to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. People still mail things. So, you know, it's your choice for privacy. So that's what it looks like when you link on it. If you were, you know, so here's a connection to my website. Here's my Facebook page. Obviously, there's my address. There's my email, my birthday. They ask that when you sign up. They don't ask for the year, thank goodness, right? And then, of course, right here is, this is up here. I'm going to show you where to go for this. This is your profile, your LinkedIn profile URL. You're assigned something before you, it's over here on the right. And this is your custom URL. So when you sign up with any of the social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, or even YouTube, you are assigned a number. They give you like this long number. So you can go in there and you can change it to your name for your personal, you know, your profile, so that it's easier to load. People then, when they search Lonnie Lott, it should pop up. When they search LinkedIn and they want to search Lonnie Lott, it will pop up, because that's how LinkedIn is finding me. So that's one area that you're going to want to make sure that you do right away, is get that URL, your profile, your LinkedIn profile URL, which is unique to your page. Make sense? Okay, let's save that because we don't need to change it. Let me go back to my home because this is a weird site here. Okay, I'm back on my home, my news feed, right? That was the little home thing. I'm going to go back up to my me. Open to, I don't know what that means. These are my 169 connections. These are all the people that I've connected with. I've sent out invitations, I've looked for them, they sent me. And then all along here, you can see they're my first layer, right? They're my first connections. These are my people, my connections. They're not a connect. Second would be they are second to one of my first. That's how they do it here in LinkedIn. If you see a third next to it, that means it's the third person down from one of your first connections. So you can message people right here. Up here is first. You can go in and look at second, and then you can see who are second folks. So this is a person that is a friend of one of them. I don't want to know about the second people. I just want to know about my first layer, people that I connected with. So that is your connections. And we'll talk about how you build that connection. There's your contact information. That's what I linked on when you asked Stephanie, can they see my address? Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to build out the rest of my profile because it gets much, much deeper than this just little snapshot. So we come down here, private to you. This just tells me that this is something that, you know, LinkedIn is trying to get me to read. Now they're telling me about my dashboard, private to me. Charlie, what you doing over there, Bubba? He gets in his little crate, which I never use. I just leave the door open, but he likes to get in there and scratch his blanket and get all comfy. So funny. They're so funny. So this just tells me that 13 people have viewed my profile. I have 35 post views and search appearances. I don't pay for any of the higher levels, so that's just kind of giving me that. Okay, now we're going into where we can develop much, much more about me, about you, about your professional world, right? That you have functioned in or are functioning in. So right here, this is a much deeper about you. This can be expanded. You have 2,600 characters that you can just write about yourself. So, you know, your little headliner is just like a snapshot of who you work for or what you do or what organization you're part of or, you know, that type of, you know, your past experience. It's just like a little snapshot. This is much more. This is not your resume. This is not your experience. This is more about you. So when I wrote this, I wrote it in first person. So you guys will want to think about that. And you either can just start writing about yourself here and think about, okay, who is my audience? Who's going to be reading this? Well, probably people you connect with, people that may see you post, people that may see you as a second or third connection of one of your first connections, your main connections. So I wrote it about myself and my work experience or my life career experience in first person. If you are not in the work field anymore and you want to not talk about that, you'd rather talk about, you know, I'm now retired or now I am in a transition of a career. I worked for so many years at this place, loved everything there, met great people, loved the students. And now I'm moving more into what I've always wanted to do. And so this is just where you write this. It doesn't have to be dry and professional if you don't want it to be. Because I don't work for a firm. I don't have any of those policies that say you can't talk about what we're doing. I talked about my career, me, what I'm doing now. And so you might want to check out a few folks that you want to connect with and look at their about section and see what they write about themselves, just to get an idea. There's no right or wrong here. It's really more of a style. Then we have activity. So remember when I said I had, this is my activity. I just posted on there. Let me go back. So we're down here. This will tell you what activity has happened with my page, with my profile. So if I say see all activity, it's going to take me to Lonnie's activity. Basically, it's going to show you that I haven't done a lot, but here is all of my activity. These are the things that I have liked, posted about. I commented on this. So this is all of my activity, what I have posted or shared or comment. If I wrote an article, you can write articles on and post them on your LinkedIn page, your LinkedIn profile. Amazing. So you can be the expert. These are posts that I posted. So, a year ago I posted this. And then documents. You can load up PDFs on your LinkedIn profile. Only platform that I know that you can actually load up a PDF. So I posted a year ago about this Main Street, and they were, it was a recovery program, and they were pushing out legislation on trying to get recovery. So it's 5 pages long. It was a PDF. I said something about it up here, here is the PDF to share. So this is my activity. So it's my activity because I'm right there, right? So let's go back to me up on my menu, go back to my profile, my personal profile. Now we're in the area that I think you need to really think about and work on. This is experience. This is kind of like your resume, only it's not a resume. This is talking about all of the wealth and background that you've gained and who you worked for over the years. So it could be a resume. Many times people use this as a resume. I have a website that I usually push most of my clients or people that are interested in my firm to go visit my website where they can actually download my resume. But this is a place where you can build out your most current resume. So you can add right here, and this is editing. And this is what you do. You just walk through each of for everything that each experience or each, whatever you want to put on there. You put your title, what type it was. You can change that. You can be freelance, contract, all of those. So it's really for you that are maybe not looking at using this for building a new career, or you're wanting to just talk about what you're doing now and generate interest. This is the perfect place because many organizations, even if they're only looking for individuals who want to volunteer or they want to invite to volunteer, will go to a LinkedIn page and want to see what your depth of experience was, so they know that you're a qualified volunteer, believe it or not. Your company name, and because I have a page, it automatically pulls it over. Where my locations are, I just put offices in Arizona and California. I am currently working in this role, then where my start date was. So if you have a past resume, get it out because you might be needing to look at it because it's really hard to remember what were the start dates and end dates, right? Then headliner, again, what I did, my management consulting, my description. And then you can add media. You can add external documents, photos, videos, presentations. So you can really build out the experience. I don't need to put any of that because I don't really use it for that depth. And then you just go and you just, now if you want to bring something up, let's say I want to put this one, let's see, I move it here. So let's say I want to say I'm this over my other experience. So if there's these little, things, you can drag and move these around. So you can move an experience that maybe you're still currently involved in. Like I left this job. This one is done. So you'd see I don't have those 3 dots. If I'm still currently employed here or working here or volunteering here, then I can move this. So in addition to my firm, I'm also the executive director for the Arizona Downtown Alliance. So I just added that. I need to add a description about that. I haven't done that yet. And then I'm also currently a business advisor for Shasta Cascade. And I could add all my other SBDCs. I work for 5 of them, but I haven't had time. I've been too busy working and doing these fabulous webinars. So, I haven't had the opportunity yet to add more of my experience. So then I get into some of my past work experience. And when you get into your past work experience, you have the, past date when I left. Again, a description of what I did there. So I stopped it. I didn't go into my years of, my first job and all of that. I stopped it with right here in 2000, from 1990 to 1996, because that's all really current to my really true work experience and career building experience. That's what I really wanted to, highlight. I'm not highlighting that I worked for a bank for 20 years because I'm out of banking. And then you can add your education. So are we good on the experience? Are there any questions there regarding experience? No, we're good? Okay. Takes time to build this out, so it's kind of a little mini project, but it's kind of fun because it's all about you. And, really, really thinking back, how do you describe all this? Now, education. I have 2 educations added. Volunteer experience. I just added my volunteer experience. I didn't have it there. So if I wanted to add another one, I just click on this. And then it's going to take me to a blank slate. And they have some fillers. They give you some ideas. These are some of the causes, right? But I don't need to add another one. So I just added a couple that shows I'm currently volunteering my time for this organization as well as this organization. Skills and endorsements. So people don't see this, take the skill quiz. I haven't done that. So here, you go in here, there's all of these skills that you can pick from. So this is for reorganizing them here. Let me just go into another place here. So these are showing all of the skills that I have, and I've put them in under interpersonal skills. I've had them under knowledge, and then I have my top 3. So they kind of come like this, right? So here are suggested skills based on your profile. So when you guys are starting out, there may be a whole bunch based on your profile that you've built out. I don't do proposal writing. I do research. Let's go ahead and add that one. I do project management. I don't do recruiting. And then you can add one of your own if you want to. So we save those. And then if I want to reorder them and put them under certain like industry knowledge or interpersonal skills, then I can other skills. So if I want to just take this and go, okay, I'm going to put this under business knowledge. So I just slide it up here, right? And drop it in, and there it is. I selected strategic planning, economic development, and community outreach as my top 3 skills. They are featured in my top skills. All of those rest of those, people can see that I have them, and then they can endorse them if they want to. They'll come on and they'll just endorse it. That's what one of your connections will do. They will endorse your skills. Your top 3 skills. The rest of the skills, they don't get endorsed. So that's your skills. So really, whatever you want to put as your skills from your past experience, just start thinking about it. If you're, project manager, writing proposals, supervised employees, you just start and they'll pop all up for your profile, and then you can also write in there certain ones.
So it says that you're endorsed like community outreach by Nils Ehrman, but there's a 9 by community outreach. What's the 9 for?
The 9 is, I believe, 9 people have endorsed that.
Oh, okay. So it only chose one endorsement, but there's others who have.
Yeah. And it's only going to show the top 3 that I have selected. If I change those, because people come on here and they'll see the top 3 and they'll endorse it. That's how other people endorse it, right?
Yeah.
Now, I've never worked for my brother-in-law, Earl, but he knows me and he's endorsing me. I've worked for all these other folks or have known them in my work world, and they are, robust worker. They're robust LinkedIn people, LinkedIn colleagues, LinkedIn connections, and they've gone in and endorsed me. If I don't want to have them show that they've endorsed me, then you just unclick it, and then it's hidden, and then it'll change the number. So you don't have to show that that person endorsed you if you don't want to. Now, it's funny, when I first started and kind of launched my LinkedIn, I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to brag. Then I thought, well, heck, if I can't brag about myself, who else is going to brag about me, right? Or highlight my skills. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't want to, I'm kind of self-conscious. I don't want to talk about everything I can do. But then I've been in this field for 28 years, so I can do a lot because I have a lot of life experience, just like you guys do. So you kind of have to kind of think about that. And if you only want to add a few of your skills that are really targeted to what you want to do now and leave all the rest out, that's fine too. You choose. Now, recommendations is what we call here. These are not reviews. These are recommendation. And I have received 2 recommendations. You have to ask for a recommendation, and then they fill it out and send it back to you, and you either accept it or not. Then you you also can show which ones you've given. So I have 2 recommendation requests right now from 2 of my past colleagues. I have not written a recommendation for them yet. I've just been too busy. This person I know from my work with hiring entertainment for a local fair. And this person I worked with here in Arizona, and then she also hired me when she was in Vermont. So she's wanting recommendations. So when you ask for one, I don't need to ask for a revision. Get back down back there. I don't want to do that. So see, this one is my edit. This one is highlighted. I have to ask. So when I hit this pencil, it's going to show those, it's the 2 recommendations. If I'm not happy with it, or I want them to add more, then you can ask for a revision, or you can hide it if you want to. So if you want to ask for a recommendation, this is what it looks like. Who do I want to ask? Let's see. I don't know if I'm connected with, I'll ask my daughter. So I'll ask this is my one daughter. She used to work with me. So she's one of my first connections. I'm going to, hi, Mara, would you write a recommendation for me? Now you can make this much more personal. I could put, hi, honey, since she's my daughter. I am updating. And then I can send it. And I'll send it. I doubt if she'll respond, but maybe she will. Oh, see, I've already sent her one. Okay, well, let's just save it. And then we'll go back. I always have to think about who I want to, use as an example. So recommendations are really important. If that's an area, if you're wanting to, like you're launching a new program, or you just really, want recommendations. And I've seen some LinkedIn pages that have lots and lots of pages or have lots of recommendations. They're very active. Accomplishments. I added this as I am the executive director of this organization. You can add another one, and that you could be that you have a publication, you have a patent, you have a course that you launched, a project you're working on, you received an honor or an award, you got 100% on your spelling test, your organization or one of the causes that you're involved with. So I chose an organization, and I just wrote that. So if I hit project, then it's going to give you what's the name of the project. Are you currently working on this project, the date and the end? It's associated with what? Me as my president, or, remember my experience. I don't know why my alarm keeps going off. And then you can put the project URL and the description. So if I was working, like, for example, if I was working on yeah, let's get out of there. We don't need to save it. Project from, like I was working in Tubac, Arizona, with the Tubac Community Center Foundation, and we were doing a master plan. I could have put that on there. Now, interest, these are things that I have, companies I'm following. These are various companies that pages that I'm following. And of course, when they post something, it's going to drop into my newsfeed. These are groups that I've joined. And these are schools that I am affiliated with or I'm following. So I'm following Sierra College, I'm following Sacramento University, and I'm following Shasta College. So that's the end of your profile, building out your profile. Now there's a few sections that you can add that maybe education, I added those skills, accomplishments, added information, supported languages. No, so I don't need to do any of those. So pretty much I've built out my profile. Okay, that is your profile. That's where you start. Now, to add folks, to find colleagues, to send out let's go ahead and clear this. Yeah, let's clear my history. So up here, if I want to start to think about, okay, who do I want to connect with? Let's see, because you got to build connections, right? You want to build some of those people that, you're going to connect with. So let's think of a past colleague that you worked with, and you start, she, I know is not on LinkedIn. I just don't know why my one daughter is not on LinkedIn. Okay, so my sister there. So this is my sister, Julie. She's the president of Adrageous. She has her own company. There you go. You can see right there. She's got a connect. She's got an actual, if I linked on there, it goes down to her experience because she doesn't have a website. So it's just going to go down to her experience. She's graduate of Cal Poly. So it's okay. So now you can say, okay, see all activity. This would be her activity, right? She's her experience. She needs to take my course, doesn't she? She doesn't have a big LinkedIn page, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. Now, there's one mutual connection, and that's Casey Sabaluski. He's my nephew. So I want to connect with my sister. So if I hit connect, I can then add a personalized note. And this is what I would really encourage you to do, is to kind of think through the low-hanging fruit of who you know out there in your world that you may want to connect with, versus just looking at a list of people and hitting connect that you have no relationship with. And I'll show you that in a minute. So when I say, okay, let's customize, I am updating my LinkedIn profile and would enjoy connecting with you on a professional basis. Okay. Maybe just professionally. So you might want to put in there, hi, Susie, or hi, George. It's been a long time since we've connected. I see you're on LinkedIn. I just launched my new profile. I would love for you to connect with you, see what I'm doing. You only have 300 words, so it's not a lot. But it's a personal message. Now that's going to go into her LinkedIn profile, and up here where it says my network, this is where it's going to pop up. It's going to pop up. This is an invitation that I got. It'll probably pop up in her notifications, or it could pop up in my network. I can't remember which one it pops up in, but then it says, Lonnie Lott would like to connect with you on LinkedIn, and you accept or you don't accept. So this, Jan Fisher is one of my connections, and she has a free course, Free Yourself to Create Anything Faster. She's a writer, so I'm going to accept that. And then here this says, okay, so it's asking for me to then send out to my LinkedIn connections an invitation to Free Yourself to Create. I am not going to do that right now because I mostly want to take time and go through that. When I come to my network, it's then going to give you this little menu on the left. It's going to say, okay, here's your connections. Do you have contacts that you might want to sync with your contacts? You can export contacts, sync contacts. This is a little bit more difficult because it takes a couple more steps. You can import your email list from your contacts if you want to. I have not done that. I don't believe in doing it that way. I'm more conscientious of doing it much more with a private invitation. These are my groups that I belong to. That's what it's showing me. I can create a group if I wanted to there, but I don't want to create a group. Pages I'm following, newsletters, hashtags. I don't have any of that. Now, these are all popping up because they're pulling from, LinkedIn is kind of pulling from places that people you may know from Sierra College. Don't know anybody there. People you may know in similar roles. You may say, oh, okay, maybe I'll go through there. I don't know any of this. This is where you see it white. You haven't searched them. These are just popping up. And if I just hit connect, it's going to send to that person. I don't have the opportunity to write a personal invitation. Oh, I know him. I'm going to connect with him. I do know him. Let's see, Jennifer, no. So this could be a place where you might first want to see if you know anyone, or you use the search button up here and you search. So I search for Julie, or you search for, let's say here, and then I don't know her. when you search, let me show you, yes, can I clear my history? When you search up here, I want to show you how you search companies, interest groups, jobs. So let's just put marketing in here. Then the word marketing in jobs, marketing in groups, marketing manager, these pop up. And this is groups, right? Let's search all. So the word marketing, I've put it in there, and then I'm going to search all of the possible places where there may be marketing mentioned. People comes up first. These are people that have marketing in their title. Services are people that have it in their services. Oh, I know Karen. I should connect with her. And I am already connected with her, so it pops up message. See where I have the first. I already know Karen. I already know Tom. See all service provider results. If I go down there, then it's going to pull up folks that I don't know. Let's go back. You can do service categories, locations, connections. So I want to go back and companies that have marketing in it. These are different companies. You can do it by location. You can do it by industry, company size. Again, I'm searching. Groups, this would probably be the one that you'd want to search. Put in whatever you're wanting, you know, whether it's grant writing or ghost writing, and then you search that. So let's put in grant writing and see what we get. And then these are different groups that are on LinkedIn that you can request to join. And it might be other colleagues in there that you could follow or connect with, other companies. You can actually maybe, this is Federal Grant Writing Tips and Support Group for novice and pros. So if, oh gosh, this sounds really good. And I'm doing a little bit of grant writing by default. So I'll read about this. This is a new group. Okay, maybe I want to request to join. And then we'll see if they'll let me in, right?
Hey, Lonnie,
Yes.
I have a phone date with my son at 4:15, so I'm gonna have to cut out a little early.
Okay. Are we good with enough for what you wanted to get started with?
So much. I took notes and I feel like capable of getting a LinkedIn account now. So thank you so much for helping.
Okay, you are so welcome. And then I will send you the link to the YouTube so you can watch the rest of it, because I'm going to just show real quick at the very end how to start a company page.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I so
Thank you.
appreciate it.
You're so
Okay.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You still with me, Michael? Okay.
Yes,
How we doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so those are the how we search different things, schools, courses. And then if you want to start, are you thinking about wanting to start a company page, or are you just thinking of maybe doing a personal profile?
Well,
I'll show you where to go.
yeah, probably a personal profile, because I don't really have a company.
Yeah. You want to talk about your skills and your experience and
Yeah.
yeah. So if you wanted to,
I was actually taking the grant writing class from Shasta.
oh,
And
are you?
Yeah, I'm doing some grant writing. So I was interested in those grant writing groups, because
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about linking up yet with other grant writers.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of groups. Like, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So you probably, you could filter it by, let's go back to groups. Maybe, let's see if groups lets us filter it by locations.
So I had just subscribed to a grant writing service, the Grant Station, and I am looking at healthcare grant because the problem was I got personally involved in this because when we moved up here, my wife had trouble getting health care.
Mhm.
And so I started investigating healthcare services in Shasta County.
Oh,
So I started connecting with healthcare providers and seeing what's out there. She ended up having to join a membership group called Prestige.
hmm.
It's not an insurance company. It's a membership, just kind of like it would be something similar to I MetaShare, which I
Mhm.
looked,
Mhm.
but that was because she couldn't. But anyway, I started writing grants, and it was healthcare grants.
Ah,
I'm starting to write a healthcare grant right now,
good.
so that's
Good.
why I was looking at that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you might want to go in there. Um, so that's pretty much most of what you need to know for building out your profile. So if you write an article or you want to post something, so you just create it right here. You can add hashtags, you can add a photo, a video, a document. That's where the PDF. Like if you found a white paper on, for you writing the grant, that's your kind of skill and what you're doing. But if you want to support the healthcare industry or something about, what you're interested in or or even about grant writing, you can upload it there, share your hiring.
Well, if you wanted to go ahead and show the for the video the how to do a company page, because I have a friend who doesn't have LinkedIn, but he has a company, and he was asking me
Oh,
about
so you have to have a personal profile to have a company page, just like Facebook.
okay,
So tell him he
okay,
has to create a LinkedIn page. Um,
okay,
then you go over here under work
hmm,
and go all the way to the end and just create a company page.
okay,
I'll show you what that looks like. I can't fill it out because I'm not going to start another one, but I'll show you my company page. So then he will see it on the home here. I'm on my personal profile, right? Over here is where my company page is. So I'm going to link on that. And then this is what it looks like to me, not to the viewer. So up here, I'm going to show you what it looks like view as a member. So this is how people would see it that are looking at my LinkedIn company page. So you can see I have a banner, created that on Canva, have my profile over here. Then I have by bullets what my company does. I have it as a nonprofit management. You can go to my website. One person from your school works here. That's me. And then I have more about. It's all about the company now, right? So I don't have my address in here. This is all about my company. I have my website, my phone number. I do nonprofit organization management. I have 2 to 10 employees. One is on LinkedIn. I'm a sole proprietor. Specialties. I have 2 locations. And that's pretty much it on the about. Because really, when you have a company page, you really want to push people over to your website to learn more about your company. Here's posts. These would be my posts that I've posted as L.L.Consulting. I have 56 followers on my company page. I don't have any jobs available. I'm not hiring. And I guess they probably have me. I don't know. You can link your employees. I don't know what that up there is for. Oh, I know. I got to go back and view as administrator, right? So I got to come over here to edit my page. There we go. So you have your header, and you have, that's your banner. Then you have your page info. Here's my profile, my name, my URL for my company, and my tagline. Buttons is call for action, contact us, my URL. That's where it says visit website, right? My about is my overview. So I can change it to whatever I want to say, what else I am, right? Just like, and this is a hard one too, because of what I do is so diverse that I can only select one thing. So really nonprofit management for now. 2 to 10 employees, self-owned. So you can, choose what you are, educational, government, nonprofit, self-owned. Year I established. And then here's my specialties, right? That I can add up. And you just start here, you just start typing in there what you do. Add a specialty. What else is out there? Let's do grant writing. Okay, so then the grant writing pops up. You can have up to 20 of those. Hashtags, you can have up to 3 branded hashtags. And then featured groups, these are my groups that I belong to. And then as L.L.Consulting, my company. And then you can, do different languages, but I don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Okay. And then you also have content, trending articles, employees, milestones, company news, analytics. You can see the background, how many people visited your site. Again, on your company pages, you can upload a PowerPoint. You can upload, so you could do a whole course, you could do a PowerPoint, say, or you could do a video, just like you can on your profile. You can do company news. I haven't got any company news. No employee. This is a pretty lame little company, isn't it? So then if I want to go back out of my my company page, because I'm on my company page now, then I would go up here to my home, and it's going to take me back to my profile. Home is always going to be my profile page.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, as always, you're my fellow, my most loyal student here. So do you like writing grants?
Well, I've gotten 2 or 3 of them before, so I just thought, well, let's try again.
Yeah. I'm reviewing, I'm on contract for an agency out here that is they're paying me, but I am reviewing and writing grants for various municipalities and chambers and stuff for some of the grants that are coming through the American Rescue Plan Act plan. And it's a lot of work. And what I find interesting as a grant writer is that, and I tell them this, that let's stop this share and we'll go back to my, oops, let me share again. And we'll go back to the end of my PowerPoint. Up. Don't you love watching somebody else's screen? Is that I don't know, I'm not working with them. I don't know them. I don't know about their organization, or like these are about marketing and these are about outdoor recreation. And so they call me and I'm like, okay, well, let's walk through the grant together. Let's look at the every detail of the grant, because I need to hear from you what your idea is for your proposed project. So I was amazed that, well, I've never written a grant before, or I didn't look at it. Or I said, well, I can't, even start to begin to review or write any draft narrative unless we walk through this together and you let me know why you wanted to go after this project. Because the thing about grants is it's usually project driven, right? Very few grants are for, what do you call it? Organizational support, paying for salaries.
No, don't do that.
No.
So then you, they pay you a flat fee or something, or an hourly, or
The agency that has me on retainer pays me an hourly rate. It's $100 for writing the grant, and it's $50 for reviewing it, an hour.
$50 an hour for reviewing.
Yep.
Yeah. And are you doing it only for one agency, or you're doing it for multiple agencies?
Just for this one agency that is linked up with Arizona Commerce Authority, which is our state economic development agency. And they are, the agency I'm working for is a nonprofit then, is facilitating kind of the go-to person, in between person of the client that I'm writing the grant for. They link me up with the client, then I work with them, and then I talk back to who I'm on contract with. They pay me and I tell them what I did, and then we track whether they get the grant or not. So yeah, grant writing is not I'm always recommending that maybe they look at certain grants, and I see grants that come through my feeds and I put them out to my stakeholder groups, to my clients that are involved in the area that I work in. But I have not always wanted to write grants. It's a lot of friggin' work.
Do they cap you so that the hours?
Nope.
They don't cap you, whatever
Nope.
it takes.
And it was interesting because the way that this is set up, I could only work with not-for-profits or cities, 501c3s or 6s or 4s. There was a for-profit there in these grants. There's one grant that a for-profit business could apply for, and they could not pay me to work with them. So that for-profit hired me directly.
They hired you directly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
we'll see how it. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Yeah, and I'll see you again.
Yeah, next week. Next
yeah,
Thursday.
Next week. YouTube. That's a fun subject.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Well, have a great evening.